Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. I am Jason here with two good friends, Adam from What the Gym and Bryer from Bryer's Music Showcase.
Hello.
Um, yeah, we're back again. It feels like it's been a little while since we've done the album exchange. I can't remember when that started. A couple months ago, I feel like.
It's been
Uh,
even longer since it's been just us three, because
well,
it's me, you, and Jacob for most of it.
the album exchange started as me, Adam, and Bryer. That
Yeah.
was the origin of the whole album exchange. And then we added. It's gone through a lot of different phases, I guess, and we're going through a new phase coming up. Uh, yeah, because it started with us, and then Nick joined, and then Scott or Jacob joined, and then Scott joined. It became a six-person deal. We did it on two different channels for a long time. In fact, the album exchange before Bryer, Nick, and Scott didn't even do a album exchange, so you guys missed the whole exchange. Unfortunately. So it hasn't gone smoothly, I guess, ever since, you know, Nick had to go to school and all this, and he had a job, and I don't know, it's just a little bit harder to get together. Um, so, so Scott and Nick decided not to do this album exchange because they're just it's a lot of albums. So they're like, we're gonna bow out. Well, Jacob was supposed to be on this album exchange. He originally was part of this exchange, but then he kind of quit a couple weeks ago. He even has an album that we're going to talk about that he
Yeah.
put on the album exchange. So I've listened to it. I wrote my notes. I know Bryer did as well, and I'm guessing Adam, we
Yeah.
all three. So we're like, I guess we'll keep going with this, even though Jacob's not here to talk about this album that he recommended on the album exchange. Uh, Anyways, so Jacob unfortunately is not going to be on the channel anymore. Very sad to say that. He decided to go in a different direction with his channel and is no longer talking about music or music anyway. So yeah, sad to see him go. Unfortunately, no more album changes with Jacob, uh, which is too bad because he provides different tastes of music in the group,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of albums that he doesn't know that we know that it was fun to introduce him to. Anyways, but uh, besides that, yeah. So thanks for thanks for being on the channel, Jacob. Sorry you had to go. So now it's us three, but it's not gonna be us three for next time. I believe Adam's gonna be off.
Yeah. This is my last one.
So Adam's gonna have his last one.
And
Uh,
Scott and Nick are coming back.
and Scott Nick decided to come back. So
Going through loads of
And I
different
thought
things.
Yes had weird lineup changes.
this is like, yeah, the Birds or Fleetwood Mac or something. We're just going through different phases of our career. Anyways, yeah, I'm glad Bryer and me have been on everyone, I guess. So pretty much, except for Bryer didn't do the last one. So I guess I was the only one that did all of them so far. Reviewed all the albums on the channel, but he's still a part of the group. So far he hasn't left me so far. So we'll see what happens. All right, sorry, that's a lot of things to say at the beginning. Because it's a little strange because we got four albums to talk about basically. Plus, I have a fifth album I'm going to actually talk about right now before we even get to our album exchange. Because when Scott left, I told him you can still recommend an album, and I'll listen and write notes and review the album because I still like having Scott and Nick participate in some way because the whole idea of the albums change is that we're introducing each other to albums maybe we don't know as well or whatever. It's a kind of cool thing to sometimes we hate the album, sometimes we love it, you never know. And sometimes one person will give it a 10 out of 10, the other person will give it a 1 out of 10, you never know. It's a grab bag. Anyways, so the album that Scott wants me to review is called Let's Dance by David Bowie, which Bryer magically pulls out of the sky, um, as he always does. From 1983, the year I was born. So this is 42-year-old
Yeah.
album, evidently. Now Scott, now everybody loves David Bowie except for me. I'm like the only person, and I don't know if Jacob knows David Bowie as much, but definitely Adam, Bryer, Nick, Scott. You guys love David Bowie.
Yeah.
I have not gotten it. I've listened to his albums as I kept going on through the 60s and 70s, and I'm just not getting it. I'm just not. I enjoy some songs here and there, but albums, I haven't heard an album that I'm like, oh yeah, this is one of the best albums. So Scott put this album for me to listen to because he thinks this is the one album I'm gonna like. He thinks out of all the albums, knowing my taste of music, that this is the album for me to get into David Bowie. So that's the reason. Anyway, so listen to this album, and I'm sorry to say, I still really do not like David Bowie.
Oh no.
This album, I still did not get. I do not get David Bowie. I found it very boring, not interesting. Still, I don't know. I guess this is supposed to be more of a commercial album. It's supposed to be more of a album general audiences like. I don't know.
Yeah, this was his big pop album, and for
Pop
him.
album. Yeah, this is a big pop album. I guess so. I'm supposed to like it, but so I'll say I really like Modern Love. That's by far my favorite song on the album. That's the very first song.
I agree, it's the best song on the album.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard this song before, and I'm going, oh, first song, very catchy, very poppy. Love the horns on it. It's a real good song. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finally like a David Bowie album. China Girl actually isn't too bad. I actually thought that was an okay song. Let's Dance. I thought I was gonna love this song because I knew this song. I've heard this song before. I know somewhere on the radio or something. It's Let's Dance, whatever that is playing there. Let's Dance. It's kind of catchy, that kind of chorus over it. Anyways, and I'm listening to it and going, yeah, okay, this is kind of interesting. But then the song just repeats and repeats and repeats.
Yeah,
and
the album version definitely extends it. The single version is a bit shorter.
Long.
That's what I'm one
7-minute version.
It felt too long. Okay, so I'm not crazy by saying it felt very long and very repetitive. And I went from, oh, this is good to I don't know to, oh my gosh, the song keeps going. So I hate to say I didn't like the song. I thought this would be the song that I would love off the album. Anyways, it's got some catchiness to it. The Let's Dance, it's got some cool stuff there. But then after a while, I'm like, oh my God, let's get over it. Anyway, so that's my feeling on that. I would even say Without You wasn't a bad song necessarily. It was okay. But Ricochet, I did not like the song. Very weird. Criminal World, again, very boring. Cat People, Putting Out Fire. What kind of name is that?
It's actually an old song. That was from the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't care for that. Shake It. I don't know. So the last half of this album, I don't know. Again, it went back to I don't know what it is about David Bowie. I'm not into his music for some reason. It's not for me or something. Anyways, so all I say is Modern Love, great. A couple okay stuff and then a lot of really bad stuff here. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry. It's still an album I do not care for. And this is supposed to be the album I'm supposed to like. So I don't know what to say.
I looked at my David Bowie ranking.
I'm a hopeless cause.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. People love this album, I'm sure. I don't know why I do not like David Bowie. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So that's my review on Let's Dance. All right, so let's talk about La La Land, which is a very interesting because it's the first time we've really had a soundtrack album, I think, and not so it's not by anybody, specific person. It's just a soundtrack to a musical that came out in 2016. I remember that I saw it in the theater. I can't believe it's been that long. Wow. Yeah, because I remember I got married in 2016. I remember I was in my first house with my wife. I remember because that was the infamous, they gave Best Picture to La La Land, and then they said, oh, we made a mistake. We said the wrong name. They had to stop everything. And I remember watching that going, what? like I've never seen that before. And I'm a big Oscar nerd. I watch all the Oscar stuff, and I'm big on that. So I was like, in all my life, I've never seen, you know, I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen until Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Oh yeah.
Then that became the craziest thing I've ever seen in an Oscar telecast. But for a while, I was like, holy cow, they really screwed that up. Anyways, that's what I remember about the. Anyways, yeah, I just got married in 2016. So gosh, yeah, 9 years ago. That's crazy. Seemed like just yesterday when that happened. Yeah, so this was a huge movie. It was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. Won like Best Director, Best Actress for Emma Stone. It was a musical set in I think L.A. about an actress. Emma Stone's trying to be an actress. Ryan Gosling's trying to be a jazz musician, and then they fall in love, and all this. Anyways, are you guys familiar with the movie?
Yes, I've seen the movie. I watched it. I remember watching it in high school. Because I took a film class. I took a film class, and we were talking about musicals, and that was the movie that my teacher chose. But yeah, I remember I really liked the movie back then. I don't think I've seen it again since. But yeah, it's been a long time. But I still remember the gist of it, majority of it. So it's still in there in the back of my head. So I was not going into the soundtrack blindly.
Okay.
I think I first watched it. I was on holiday when I saw it. It was on the TV. I thought it was really good. But I was a bit disappointed with the ending of the film.
I can see that.
Yeah. I didn't like the movie. I was expected to be. It was like hyped up as it's gonna be Best Picture. Everybody's talking. And I love musicals too. I'm a big fan of musicals. So I'm like, oh man, I was so excited to see this movie. I remember, and I thought it was terrible. I didn't like the music. And here we're gonna talk about the soundtrack, and I'm already spoiling what I'm gonna say, but I remember watching the movie going, man, I really don't like this music at all. And I'm a big musical fan. And anyways, and we'll get into that. And yeah, story wise, whatever. Emma Stone, I like Emma Stone. She gave a decent performance, you know. Gosling was funny. Yeah, the ending was I don't know. I won't spoil it, but yeah, I didn't care for the ending. Anyways, disappointed about the movie. But what do we think about the soundtrack, which has 15 songs on it? It looks like.
Yeah, 15 songs.
A lot of instrumentals. It's mostly a lot of instrumental stuff. Anyways, so I guess Adam, you want to talk about this album?
Yeah, I thought it was really great. I thought the soundtrack, it's definitely the best part of the movie, and it was great revisiting some of these songs. But there was quite a lot of instrumentals. Some of them I didn't really care for, but I thought for the most part it had really great instrumentation and vocals and the vocal tracks. And yeah, I overall had a really great time with it. But it's not an album I go back to though. But it was great to revisit these songs after years watching a movie and revisiting it years later. So I do have top 2 tracks on it.
Okay.
But there were 3. I've got City of Stars, but the version that Ryan Gosling singing on it. My second favourite was the song Audition, The Fools Who Dream. And my number 1 it's probably the new song I'd go back to on this. It's Another Day of Sun, which I think is like the opening song.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
The film.
Yeah, Another Day of Sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
As far as the rating's concerned, I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
8.5. Yeah.
Good. All right, Bryer, you're a big fan of instrumentals, so.
All right. So I'll be honest. When Jacob nominated a soundtrack, I was like, "Oh God, how am I gonna review this?"
Yeah, it's not an easy album to review.
It's a little different to review, yes.
Yes, because I mean, what can you say? It's the soundtrack to a movie. So it's like I can't really be too critical of it because it is what it is. But again, I did like the movie, and so I do remember a lot of these songs. So yeah, Another Day of Sun. I mean, for me, that's always been my favorite song. Like the opening number, I like, especially when you watch the movie, how they shot it. And it was basically one take. Like that was really cool. I like how the movie opens, and it's just this nice, very upbeat. Lots of good horn playing, good bass work on it, and yeah, it's very jazz oriented soundtrack. and this again, the song kind of tells you straight up what type of music you're gonna be experiencing. But I've always liked Another Day of Sun. Again, that's always been my favorite song on this soundtrack. Someone in the Crowd, another pretty good song. Again, kind of sing another good track with some good horns. I do like jazz, and so I did like a lot of the musicianship on it. There's some subtle flutes in this one, and I like how it does switch up. It starts off kind of upbeats, but then there's a part where it kind of slows down, but then it kind of slowly builds back up. Like I think structurally, I think I like that a lot. I'm gonna skip a lot of the instrumentals because I don't got much to say on those, honestly. But it fits the movie. That's all you need to know. A Lovely Night. It's never been one of my favorite songs. I'll be honest. I mean, I think I'm not too enamored by Ryan Gosling singing. I think he's okay. But he's never been like my favorite part of the movie. Emma Stone's fine though. I do like her voice a lot more. But still a good jazz-oriented feel. Definitely has a very classic Hollywood almost aesthetic, which I guess could be another point to it because I kind of like that style. Skip another instrumental, City of Stars, which is kind of like the main song of this movie, like the main motif you hear. And this one's just a very brief version of it, just another slower, somber tone of it, which not much just to say. More instrumentals, City of Stars again, but now with Emma Stone in it. Probably the best version on here. That's probably the one. If I were to listen to the song, it's probably be that one.
Yeah.
Then you have Start a Fire, which I totally forgot John Legend was in this movie.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But I actually really like that one. I actually totally forgot about it. But I like that. I like it. It has a nice piano intro. It has a good, more upbeat feel to it. A little bit of some synthesizers on it, which was kind of good. But it's just overall, it's just this very nice R&B sort of track, which I thought was very cool, very smooth. Engagement Party, another instrumental, slight callback to Another Day of Sun, but not much else to say about it. Audition, definitely another stand-up moment. I think vocally, that's where Emma Stone kind of shined on that one. Very good in most of the vocals on it. And then the rest you get instrumentals plus another version of City of Stars, but humming.
All
right, but yeah,
it just needs a whistling version now.
I know, right?
How many versions?
That's another point deducted because it didn't have whistling, But yeah, there we go. So I do have a top 5. Number 5, I have A Lovely Night. 4, Audition. 3, Someone in the Crowd. 2, Start a Fire, and 1, I already spoiled it, but Another Day of Sun. And again, the rating, I don't know what to rate this thing because again, there's some good songs on here, but it's a soundtrack. How do you rate a soundtrack?
Right.
Like, it fits the movie, so it does the job, but in terms of it's different from like your traditional album. So in this case, I'm gonna break the rules here. I'm not gonna rate this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it blank.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't normally rate soundtracks either, but I had to force myself to rate it.
Force yourself.
I mean, if you really want to know a number, I'll give it like 7.5 to an 8.
So it's more towards the top. Okay.
A little bit, yeah. Mainly because of the instrumentals.
I mean, knowing you have a lot of Disney soundtracks, I think.
Yeah.
Of musicals, of Disney musical stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if you have other musical stuff. I mean, obviously you have Jesus Christ Superstar, and you love that. You love that musical, and so you do like.
Does Shrek 2 count as a musical?
It does have
because Donkey does sing at the end.
I mean, there's a lot of songs.
Shrek the musical.
It's not a musical, but there's a lot of songs in it.
Yeah.
So I would say you're a fan of soundtracks.
I like
But
some soundtracks, but it's only if I really like the movie.
okay, yeah. I mean, you have Thomas the Tank Engine, for goodness
Of
sake.
course,
So
I had to get that one.
yeah. All right.
I'm wearing the hat right now.
Oh yeah.
And you probably have some anime soundtracks. I don't know, whatever.
I only have one, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate this album. I hate it so much. It's so boring. I hate the instrumentals. It's a jazz album. I hate jazz. I didn't like the movie because it was all jazzy songs. I hated the jazz songs. Didn't like the movie. And then yeah, Jacob's like, yeah, La La Land. I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna hate this album. Like there's almost no purpose even me listening to it, but I listened to it just to review it. Two songs I like on the album. City of Stars, the ninth track, the duet. Yeah, that's good. I like the first one. Yeah, it was okay. The humming, didn't need that one, but the ninth track, City Stars. Yeah, that's definitely the song of that. Was the main theme, like you said. It's got kind of a nice little, City of Stars, look how they shine or something. And that's not right. I just went to another song. I went to all of a sudden. I went into Yellow. But anyways, something like that. City of Stars. Blah blah. Anyways, that's good. And Start a Fire. I really like that song. And I remember that was probably my favorite part of the whole movie was when John Legend came in and sang a song. And Ryan Gosling's like playing piano for him or something, and then he's like a big musician in the movie, and so
it makes sense. That's probably the least jazzy sounding song on the soundtrack.
Yes, that's exactly why. And it's like John Legend, he can really sing, and he's a good musician, so it makes sense. It's very upbeat. I like it. It's very upbeat. Yeah, it's not jazzy. Anyways, everything else terrible. Boy, you like Another Day of the Sun. I didn't even care for that, and you guys loved that one, so. Anyways, so all right, top two songs. Number 2, City of Stars. Number 1, Start a Fire. That's for me. Score 5 out of 10. All right.
I think it'd give it like a 4 or a 3.
If I was Nick, I would give it like a 1, but if I was going by Nick's scoring. All right, let's talk about a really good album.
Let's get some excellent stuff.
The next 3 albums I like, so I'll give really good scores on these next 3. I got Christopher Cross by Christopher Cross. Debut self-titled album. I got this at Goodwill not too long ago. I was in Goodwill looking at the vinyl section and CD section, and I was so happy to come across this because I didn't have to spend much money on it. And I was like, oh, Christopher Cross. I've heard it like one time a while ago, I think. And I remember being like really impressed by it and like going, it's actually a pretty good album. I don't feel like people talk about this album in the vinyl community, whatever. People don't talk about yacht rock as much, I think, and chill music like this. And I've known Christopher Cross since I was a kid, kind of. I think I've heard of him and knew a little bit about him. That voice. I mean, the first thing you think about is that voice. He has just an incredible tenor voice, very soothing. It's wonderful. And I knew 2 songs growing up: "Sailing" and "Arthur," the theme, or
Arthur's theme.
It's Arthur's theme from the Arthur, which won the Oscar, and it's a great song. I love that song. I love "Sailing." Those are 2 songs I knew about Christopher Cross, and I loved both songs, but never really ventured into anything else by him, really. And what got me to this album is it won Album of the Year, and I was looking at, I think it went up against like The Wall and another album that's really big at the time. Now I'm forgetting, but there's like 2 really huge albums at the time. One was The Wall, and there's another one which you probably thought those would win Album of the Year, but so I think it was somewhat of a surprise maybe that Chris Cross came in on his debut album. His debut album comes in and wins the Album of the Year, so that was pretty interesting. I think came out 79, I believe.
Yeah.
So because it won Album of the Year, I've listened to all of the Grammy Album of the Year. That's why I came across it, because I've listened to all of them except for Beyonce. I haven't listened to Beyonce's album yet. I need to listen to that one, the Cowboy, whatever. Yeah, so I remember listening to this and going, wow, this is pretty good. Anyway, so that's about the only time I really listened to it. And I saw this Goodwill, picked it up, and I thought, oh, this is a good album for the album exchange, especially Jake. I was really hoping Jake would be here to talk about it because I thought this would be a cool, like, hidden gem album for me. Or maybe he knows the album, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if you two knew him, but I didn't know if Jacob knew him. And I was listening, I got the vinyl here, and I was listening to it. Man, do I love this album. I remember liking it. Now listen to it again. I love this album. It is incredible. It is, to me, if you want to listen to yacht rock, this is the album for you. If you want an album that's real chill, this is the album for you. And I love it. I've been really getting into more yacht rock lately. And to me, this is the best yacht rock album I've ever heard. It's the ultimate yacht rock. It's the ultimate chill album. Oh my gosh. It just puts me at ease when I'm listening to this album. And part of it is, again, Christopher Cross, love his voice. Really is credible. And really good guitar player. Underrated guitar player. And I didn't realize how good he was, but I've seen some videos of him playing, and he's really good. And he plays
he played with Deep Purple one time.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it was like in 1970. Richie got sick, and they needed a guitar player, and so they brought in like a 19-year-old Christopher Cross to come out. He's the only person to ever sub for Richie Blackmore.
That's crazy. Because you don't think of Deep Purple, when you think of Christopher Cross.
Yeah, no.
But he's a really good guitar player. So this album, great singing, great guitar playing. There's some really good. And I love the tone of the guitar, the sound of it. I just love the sound. It's so good. A lot of good stuff there. I mean, it's interesting about Christopher Cross. Like, this album's huge. It blew up. You think he's going to be the next big star, but then like MTV came around, and yacht rock wasn't really big on MTV. That was more for, I don't know, rock and roll, pop music, maybe. I don't know. He didn't really translate into MTV music videos, I think. And his image wasn't, that of somebody that would, look good on videos.
No.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's so pretty much exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I felt like his career didn't go as big as maybe it could have, considering how big this album was when it came out. So it's unfortunate, but I definitely want to hear more of his stuff. And I definitely, if anybody doesn't know Christopher Cross, listen to this album. It is so freaking good. I love it. I guess, in talking about the album itself, Say You'll Be Mine, great poppy catchy tune to begin the album. I really don't know anymore. That song is so good. It's like I never knew the song until I was listening to the album. This is an amazing song. Man, that chorus when he goes there, I really don't know anymore. Oh my gosh, his voice, the melody, when he hits you with that chorus, I'm like, this is like one of the greatest choruses I've ever heard. And you tell me, I think Michael McDonald sounds like him on.
Yeah, he's on here.
Singing, oh my gosh. And you have Michael McDonald singing. It's amazing. Like, I'm like, this is so good. Spinning, I thought was another nice duet. Never Be the Same. Another absolutely amazing hidden gem for me. Like, I didn't know the song. Another amazing melody. Another great chorus. Again, when he hits that chorus, it's like, oh my gosh. Per Shirley is my least favorite song on the album. It's okay. Ride Like a Wind is kind of a well-known song. I didn't really know it, but I've heard a lot of people. It seems like his maybe second most well-known song on. It's definitely more upbeat, which I like. It's a much more upbeat song, much more good guitar playing in there. But it's a nice song. I really like the song. The Light Is On, another absolutely great song. Sailing, I love Sailing. I already said that was a song that I remember hearing as a kid. And that's the most chill song. I really want to go on a sailboat and just lay there and do nothing. Like, that's what I think about when I hear the song. I just imagine warm sun on your face. You're just laying there with your eyes closed, and this song comes on. Sailing on the way, da, da, do do do. Something. Sooner we'll be free. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh. The voice, there's some harmonies there too. The voice is amazing. The melody. Yeah, I love Sailing. And then Minstrel Gigolo. Great guitar playing. Some of the best guitar playing on the album. Love the guitar playing on this song. And really, anyways, so yeah, just all amazing stuff. And yeah, so much. It's hard to go to the top three, but so much great stuff. But number 3, I went with Ride Like the Wind. Number 2, I went with I Really Don't Know Anymore. Definitely one of the great hidden gems I've ever heard. It should be a huge hit. I don't know why that wasn't a huge hit. It's so good. And then number 1, Sailing. Of course, you can tell I love that song so much. Definitely when I think Christopher Cross, I think of Sailing. That's like the song for him. For me, it's that song. And you can tell I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This is an amazing album. I've listened to it several times since I got this, and I don't know where I was like, where's this been my whole life? Like, it's been missing in my life. This really nice yacht rock chill album. Definitely need to check more Christopher Cross out. This is the only album I know that's been big for him. I don't know that he had another big album.
No, he didn't really have any big albums as big as that after that.
Yeah. Do you know Christopher Cross?
I mean, his second album did okay, but again, it didn't really. There was no way he was able to recapture that magic he did in the first album.
Yeah, that's very true. It's gonna be hard to capture that one, but anyways, yeah. So yeah, love this album. All right, Adam, what do you think?
Well, before going into it, I only knew one song from him, and it was Arthur's theme.
Okay, it's a great song.
I've heard that song on the radio a few times. It's one of my favorite songs of his. It's my second favorite song of his. My favorite's on this album.
Okay.
It's got 9 tracks in total. You start off with "Say You'll Be Mine," which is the shortest song on the album.
Oh, really?
But I think it's an excellent way to start the album. Very, very catchy, very, very uplifting. Yeah, a brilliant way to start the album. And then you got "I Really Don't Know Anymore." Yeah, it's a pretty discovery on the album. Especially love the chorus. I think vocally he sounds amazing. And yeah, I really like the other guy that's singing with him on the chorus as well. Then you got "Spinning." It's probably my least favorite song on the album, but I still did really enjoy it. And then you got "Never Be the Same," another one of the standouts for me. I really love that one. Then you got "Paul Shirley." I think it's the instrumentation that I like more than the vocals in this one. I think the song gets better the more it goes along.
Yeah.
And side 2, you open with "Ride Like the Wind." I think it was the biggest song for him on the album.
Really?
I never heard of it before.
Me either.
But yeah, I really loved that one. Definitely, yeah, it's one of the better tracks on the album. The light is on. It wasn't one of my favorites when I first heard this, but when I heard it again on vinyl, I think it's one of the better songs on the album.
Yeah.
It'd probably be my top. It'd probably be my number 5 and number 6 on the album. Then you got the song "Sailing." Yeah, I really love that one. I love the whole sort of chill vibe the song has. It's a song I'd go back to the most on the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite Christopher Cross song.
Me too.
Yeah. And then you end the album with the longest song on the album, "Minstrel Gigolo," which is 6 minutes long. But yeah. I still do really enjoy it. It's got some of the best guitar work on the album. But I do think it could be a little bit shorter. I don't think it needs to be 6 minutes long. But as my top 3, I'll give a couple of shout outs to "Ride Like the Wind" and the light is on. Give a shout out to that one as well. But my top 3. But number 3 is "Never Be the Same." But number 2 is I Really Don't Know Anymore. And number 1, "Sailing." So
right.
we've got the same top 2.
Same top 2.
Yeah. And I'm not quite giving. It's not quite a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a 9.75.
Okay, pretty close.
It's in my top 100 studio albums.
Awesome.
So yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Definitely making mine next time. Next time I do a top 100, it's going to be in there.
But I really like the album cover as well.
Yeah, the pink flamingo. Is that? I don't know if that's a logo that he uses a lot now, or.
Yeah, I know his second album was just the flamingo as the cover.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought maybe I heard something like that, like he uses the pink flamingo. I don't know.
But is actually going to be a concert near where I live. But I'll be away when he's there though.
Yeah, he's still touring.
He
almost died. He almost died recently.
He had COVID, almost died.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was paralyzed like the waist down.
Yeah, that's right. He couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't walk or stand or something.
Yeah, but now he's good.
He's getting up there too in age, I think.
He's like in the 70s now.
Yeah, he's like. Well,
I think recently he was on like Jimmy Kimmel or something, and he did sailing, and he sounds like he hasn't aged a day.
Still sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's 70s, but he looks like he's in his 40s still.
Yeah, he doesn't look as old as he is. You're right. He grew
sounds a bit like Ringo.
A little bit.
So it's about 40.
That guy doesn't. Yeah, he just. he doesn't look as old as he should be. His hair gets darker as he gets older or something. I don't know.
Wonder why.
All right, Bryer.
I mean, Christopher Cross has an excuse. At least he has no hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any case, so of course I've known this album for a long time. I've had the CD for a number of years at this point. I will say the best thing about this exchange, aside from Jacob's, I already owned all three of these, and so definitely saved me money in the long run.
That saved you.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, but any case, yeah, I've always enjoyed this album. It's definitely a must-have for the yacht rock, but also soft rock, if you also want to call it that as well. Yeah. So I'll just go right into it. I mean, Say You Will Be Mine, just a great opening song, just sets the tone. You just feel good percussion, nice female backing singers. And the thing about the guitar playing, and yes, Christopher does play a lot of the guitars, but generally when you hear the solo, most of the time it's not really him. He usually just has somebody else does it. Because I actually watched interviews of him. He's actually a little insecure in his guitar playing because he doesn't think he's that great.
He looks great on stage, but yeah,
he'll do it. He'll still play the solos live, but when it comes to the studios, he thinks, I think there's somebody better who can do this.
Okay,
but
in the case, I don't know.
So the guitar solo on this one, you have a session guitarist named Jay Graydon, who's best known. He's played with Steely Dan a lot. I think he plays the guitar.
Sounds like Steely Dan a little bit.
Yeah. He does the guitar solo for Peg.
It does.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's one. But yeah, I really don't know anymore. I've always loved that song. That's always been one of my favorite songs on here. Again, the chorus is great. And again, you have the inclusion of Michael McDonald on here. And it's not the last time we'll hear him on this album. But yeah, it's great horns on this one. Another great guitar solo by Larry Carlton, another Steely Dan alumni.
Okay.
So a lot of Steely Dan. We have two guitars from them and Michael McDonald. So any case, but yeah, I love them. Very, very melodic, really good song. I play that song a lot. I will say the next three songs are not really the best songs. I still like them quite a bit, but they're generally the three songs I always kind of forget about. Like I'm in the moment, I'm like, oh, I like this, and then once they're over, I completely forget.
Mm-hmm.
But Spinning, I did write notes. Spinning, probably the big standout was the female singer. I think she sounded really nice, complimented Chris really well. And there was like a trumpet solo, I think, which was kind of interesting. Never Be the Same, good keyboard intro. Another one of the more upbeat, kind of breezy sort of tracks, very pleasant. And Poor Shirley, a lot of strings on that one. Nice vocal melody and just a solid vibe. But then it picks up right back up with Ride Like the Wind, which is another one of my favorite songs on here. I don't know if this is true, but apparently he may or may not have written these lyrics while high on acid. I don't know if that's true because I don't really associate drugs with Christopher Cross.
So he was sailing.
Oh yeah, probably he was riding like the wind in that moment, probably. It actually has a very ominous sort of beginning at first, kind of like slow build up, but then it kind of gets going. Almost has a very urgency. There's like an urgency to it, which kind of fits the whole running or trying to, because it's basically he's trying to run to Mexico, I guess. I don't know what he did, but
Yeah,
that's so I guess it kind of suits it. But great percussion, the vocals are great, and the orchestra on it just sublime. And once again, you have Michael McDonald yet again providing backing vocals during the chorus, which is really good. And this is where the closing guitar solo at the end was actually done by Chris himself. And I know Rick Beato has done like a breakdown on that guitar solo and just really showcases just what a good guitar player he really is. He just doesn't give himself that much credit. But yeah, just a great, excellent track. Always love that one. The Light Is On, another pretty solid track. Pretty nice. But then Sailing, I mean, it's Sailing, so of course you're gonna love that. You gotta love that one. Just so calming, just so beautiful. Just that opening guitar melody just really just lures you in, and you're just kind of vibing. And his vocals are just very, very sweet. I did read that the inspiration of the song was actually written for a childhood friend he had, because he didn't really have like a solid like companion growing up. I think he had a very bad relationship with his dad. And so him and his friend would just go sailing, and he was just there would just be those moments where he felt free. And that's what the song feels like. You're free. So yeah, I love this song, of course. And it is kind of the poster child of yacht rock, if you really think about it. But I think it deserves the title. Definitely one of the best songs from that year. And the last song, Minstrel, I already forgot how you say it. How you say that again?
Gigolo.
Gigolo. Okay, I never knew how that's spelled. But yeah, so I think it's a really cool opening song. Like that's a song I kind of forgot about. Like I forgot like how good musically that one is. Good intro, piano and drums really locked in. Another good vocal, and chorus is really good, and saxophone solo to cap it off, which is really cool. And the guitar playing. Cool you mentioned the guitar playing, because again, Chris is not doing the soloing, but it's actually done by a pretty well-respected guitar player by the name of Eric Johnson, who is a pretty well-regarded guitar player. And I know he had one big guitar. I know he's famous for like an instrumental, but I forgot what it's called. Clover of something. But yeah, it's great guitar work from him there. And yeah, I'll go right into my top 5. Number 5, I have Spinnin'. Even though it's not my favorite song, I still think it was definitely pretty nice. Number 4, Minstrel, a Gigolo. 3, I Really Don't Know Anymore. 2, Ride Like the Wind. And number 1, yeah, it's Sailing.
Yeah.
We had the same top 3, just different order, but
yeah. Yeah, but in terms of my rating, I'm like Adam. It's not quite a 10 out of 10, because I say my bottom 3 are kind of like the parts where it's not as strong, but it's still going to get a very high score. I'm going to give this album a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable album.
All right, good. I'm glad I finally got an album where everybody liked it. Yes. Picked a good one here. Scott said something earlier. I forgot to put it on here, but the Moondance and Crisscross are both in my record collection. I wanted to listen to the Blonde album. Sometimes I know the Big Heart of Glass. Yeah, that's definitely a big album, I think. And I mean, Bryer will get more into, I'm sure, that aspect of it. Yeah. So all right, great. I won't say great start, except we already talked about 2 albums before this, but as far as the albums that we recommend, that's great to hear. And I think the reviews are going to continue to be very good for these next 2. And the next one we're going to talk about is Parallel Lines by Blondie. And not knowing much about Blondie, this feels like this is the album everybody talks about. And I'm guessing both of you have it on your like top 100 list or something.
Yeah.
So we'll see what I think when we get to me. But Bryer, what makes you put this on the?
All right. So yeah, I mean, I mean, Jason kind of already hinted. I did put this in my top 100. I just recently in my recent video, well, fairly recent video at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically their breakthrough album because this is their third studio album. They released 2 albums prior, but none of them were like massive or anything. But this is where they really started to hit the mainstream a lot more. And this came out in September of 1978. And did big numbers. It got to number 1 in the UK and number 6 here in America. And Blondie, they kind of get brought up every once in a while. They're kind of lumped into number of genres. I know early on they were more of a punk sort of act, but then when you get to this album, they start to incorporate more new wave, more pop rock, a little bit of power pop. So it's kind of more of a more commercial sound. Of course, it worked out in that favor. So yeah, I've always enjoyed this album. I remember getting this album because, again, I know the name. I know some of the hits. I know Heart of Glass was a big hit, and One Way or Another was a big hit. And so I always knew those two, and so that was kind of the reason why I wanted to check it out. And I played it for the first time, and I was just really enjoying it. It's like you get a good mixture of all those genres I mentioned earlier. Like you still get that punk sort of edge to them, but the new wave comes in, and then you have a little bit of the pop, and even on Heart of Glass, a little bit of a more dancey, disco-y sort of feel. But I think it all just blends together well. Of course, Debbie Harry, very well-respected female rock singer. And so of course, you can see her on the cover, just looking good up there.
That's who I think about when I think of Blondie is her.
Yeah, she's like the only female in the entire band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she stands out.
Definitely. So going into the song. So the first song is actually a cover. It's actually from a band which I never heard of. They're called The Nerve, but Hanging on the Telephone. It's funny enough, similar to Telephone Line by ELO, you hear a telephone sound effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very differently. Very different songs after that. But this is like a good high energy sort of number. This is where their punk sort of background is kind of rather prominent, especially during the verses. But the chorus itself is a very catchy, great guitars. And again, when you think of punk guitar, it's like very straightforward. But here, there's a lot of nuance here, which is very well appreciated. The drums have a good punch to it. And of course, Debbie singing with attitude. Just kind of a really great way to kind of open the album. Just something short and sweet. Okay, and then you have the big hits, One Way or Another, which, funny enough, the first time I heard this song, it was in the Rugrats movie when I was a kid.
The Rugrats? Go to Paris?
Yeah. That was an interesting introduction. So I always knew the melody of it, but I didn't know who actually sung it. And now every time I hear the song, all I think about is the Rugrats movie, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But despite that, even though it was in a kids movie, the lyrics are actually kind of dark because it's basically about a stalker, and it was kind of based on an actual experience Debbie had with a stalker. That this guy was just stalking her for a while.
I'm gonna get
so.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it does have a very creepy sort of feel, which I guess was the point. But man, does it rock out. Has a great guitar riff. You have Debbie really going more aggressive in the vocals. And just the hook itself is very memorable. Great guitar solo during the bridge section. And just a very chaotic closing. But it's a classic tune. So it's definitely a very, very good song. Picture This definitely has more poppy sort of edge. Nice keyboards, good steady beats. I like the chorus quite a bit. Very nice song overall. Fade Away and Radiate. Now this is interesting because you have a guest guitar player. You have Robert Fripp from King Crimson providing guitar, which is definitely, I never would have thought that. And it's probably the most different song on the album. I will say it is my least favorite at the end of the day because it's probably not the song I go back to. It's kind of very haunting sounding. It does steadily get more normal, but the song is just a very interesting sort of thing. But I'd like it, but it's never been my all-time favorite. It doesn't really detract the album though. Pretty Baby has some spoken word, which again not quite into, but it gets a bit more straightforward towards the end. Drumming's pretty good, but overall is another one of those songs that maybe doesn't stand out as much as the other tracks. I know, but I don't know. Cool guitar, keyboard starts. Nice drumming yet again. Once again, another good catchy vocal melody from Debbie on this one. And but there is one thing that kind of not quite my favorite thing is that there's actually one of the male members is kind of takes co-lead singer. That's the guitar player. And I'm like, why are you singing? What are you,
Let's get
why,
back to
yeah, let's get back to Debbie, please. No offense to you. I mean, you're not bad, but it's a bit jarring after this is like the only time I hear you. But it's still the vibe's still decent. I still like it. And the bridge section's cool. 11:59, which we passed actually already, at least for me. Another upbeat song, nothing more of the catchier songs. Good keyboard on this one. The keyboard playing is very fun, very very enjoyable. Good vocals, good feel good song. Will anything happen? More distorted, much faster. Definitely more of the punk coming in with some very heavy drumming. I think the chorus is very strong. And then Sunday Girl, based on well, this is kind of a it's close to home, based on Debbie's Cat That Ran Away, which I had that earlier this year. Yeah. Okay. But it's more of a poppy sort of song, and Debbie has a more relaxed vocal, good drumming and guitars. It's a really nice song. I really like that one quite a bit. Again, very relatable for all cat people. And then we finally get to the other, probably the biggest hit on here, and that of course is Heart of Glass. And this is where the new wave is probably the most prominent, and a little bit of a disco edge too. They actually did use a drum machine, which is kind of, you don't really notice too much. Like it's not actually not that distracting, but really good bass line, very funky, and there's just a great groove on the drums, and guitars provide some excellent textures. And Debbie has a very evocative vocal on here, which is very cool, very suits the tone, and it's definitely see why this was a big hit. I've always loved this song. Definitely one of my big highlights on here. And then you get into a Buddy Holly cover with "I'm Gonna Love You Too." Again, but a more punky version of it. So depending if you're into that. But I actually did like this interpretation. I like the upbeat, energetic nature of it, and good guitar solo. It's short, but it's very fun. I had fun with that. And the last song you have, "Just Go Away." Don't know if they're telling you to go away, but okay, I'm not going to dwell on that.
Good closer. Just go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I'm going.
Okay. But yeah, I thought it was a really strong closing song with great drumming, good guitar tone. I actually did write that for a note. Oddly fitting for a closer. That was actually one of my notes I forgot about. Good guitar solo, great keyboards, nice vocals in the bridge section. And yeah, like I said, just closes the album on a very good note. So my top 5 songs, I have 11:59, number 4, Sunday Girl, 3, One Way or Another, number 2, Hanging on the Telephone, and number 1, it's no shock, Heart of Glass. And when it comes to the rating, it's in my top 100, so therefore it's got to get a 10 out of 10 for me. Even though there's some songs I'm not as crazy about, it doesn't really detract anything from me. I still love the production style, love the overall attitude and the feel of the album, and again, the vocals from Debbie, very varied. Like one minute she's very aggressive, other times she's kind of playing it more straightforward. You get a nice good blend of many different genres, and I think it all comes together extremely well. So 10 out of 10 from me.
All right, pretty strong score. Now, Adam.
Well, it was up to my dad who got me into this album. He said that this is Blondie's biggest album. So he bought it on vinyl, and I listened to it, and I really loved it. I think I heard it on CD first, then my dad got it on vinyl. But you start off with Hanging on the Telephone. Yeah, a brilliant album opener. It's of course cover by The Nerves. Yeah, I've never heard of them before, but I really love the song. I think it's the shortest song. It's one of the shortest songs on the album, but it's in my top 3 as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I really love it. And then you got One Way or Another. Of course, I was very familiar with this song. Yeah, another standout for me. It's another one that's in my top 3. In fact, I'm just going to say that me and Bryer both have the same top 3 in the same order.
Oh wow, cool.
Oh, mine's different. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I really love the vocals and the guitar work, especially. And you got Picture This. I really love that one. Yeah, not really got too much else to say about it. I just think it's one of the better songs on the album. Then you got Fade Away and Radiate. It's probably the most different sounding song on the album, but I still do really like it. I just think they're one of the songs that stand out a bit more. And then you got Pretty Baby. Yeah, I really love that one. I Know, But I Don't Know. I found that one a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
I still did really enjoy it though. And side 2, you've got 11:59. Yeah, I thought that one was a really good way of starting side 2. And then you got What Anything Happen. If I'm being honest, I don't remember much about that song, but I still did quite like it. I just don't remember anything about it. And then you got Sunday Girl. I had to hear that song on the radio recently.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I really like Sunday Girl. It's probably in my top 5 on the album. Then you got Heart of Glass, my favourite Blondie song. It's always been my favourite Blondie song. I think it was the first song I ever heard of theirs.
Yeah.
But it's got a very unique sound to it because it's new wave and disco at the same time. Yeah, I really love it. It's definitely the best song on the album. Then you got I'm Gonna Love You Too. This is the shortest song on the album. It's probably also probably the fastest song on the album. It's one you really rock out listen to. But yeah, I really love their version of that. And then you got Just Go Away. Yeah, I really love that song. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird way of closing the album. I don't know what they're trying to say. But yeah, I certainly really love it though. Yeah, got the same top 3 as Bryer, which is number 3, One Way or Another. Number 2, Hanging on the Telephone. Number 1, Heart of Glass. And I'm going to give it a 9.75. The same rating as Christopher Cross.
All right. Let's see if we can break that with Moondance, but we'll see.
But we'll see.
The 9.75 albums. All right, so I'm the least maybe known about Blondie and this album. Maybe out of everybody here, or I guess Scott doesn't know the album either. I've heard of Blondie, and the only thing I know about Blondie I thought was Heart of Glass, except one way or another. I know that song. I didn't realize that was a Blondie song until I was listening to the album. I was like, oh yeah, I know that song. I've heard it on the radio. So those definitely are the 2 big radio hits on here. But Heart of Glass, definitely the song I think about when I think of Blondie. That's the only thing I really know is that song. And I think I know it because in here, Bryer, I think, talks about this on his channel. Is I remember back in the day, I would always see these commercials where they'll show just snippets of songs, and you get, I don't know if it was like, get the CD set of the 70s or something. I don't know what it was.
I feel like I did see a Blondie in one of those.
So you just get like snippets. So you just hear like, everybody wants to rule the, and then it goes to another song. I dying in your arms tonight. I just remember these songs, like, and that's all I knew. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's all I knew of the song was the chorus, because they play like the chorus and then they go to the next song. And I do remember Heart of Glass was in there, like da 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 Heart of Glass or whatever. Anyways, and I remember going, okay, it sounds kind of cool. That's all I probably knew about Heart of Glass was it was on some infomercial or something that I saw as a kid. I see them all the time. Anyways, so going into this, the other thing was I actually kind of was going through. I've been going through albums of the 70s and making short lists, and some of you see them. I post them on one of our group chats when I make a short list of stuff. And so, and I come across Blondie albums, and I go, oh, I'll listen to this. I've heard of Blondie, and I have to admit, I so far really haven't been into Blondie. Every time I listen to a little bit of an album, I don't know. I haven't. I think I don't know. I haven't been totally into Debbie Harris's voice either. Sometimes I don't know. This might be a strange thing to say because maybe everybody loves her voice, but her voice doesn't always. I don't know. It's annoying sometimes to me. I don't know how to say it. I'm not always into her voice or something. I'm not always into the style of music. Anyway, so then Parallel Lines. When you said Parallel Lines by Blondie, I was like, oh no, I'm probably not going to like this album. That was my first thought. Cause I don't know why. I just had this in my head that I listened to some Blondie albums and didn't really like them when I was trying to go through the 70s or whatever. Anyway, so listen to this album. First time listening to it, I was like, this isn't that bad. Like, I was like, wasn't sure what to put it. I was like, I don't know if I like it or not, though. I was like, do I like it? I don't know. Like, I have to listen to it again. So this is definitely an album I had to listen to the most because I just didn't know how to score it because I just kept listening to it going, I don't know if I like it or not. Anyways, but by the third time I listened to the album, I was like, you know what? This is a good album. I don't know why. It took me about 3 listens before I really got into the album. And unlike, Christopher Cross and Moondance, I loved them as soon as I heard the albums. I was like, wow, this is a great album. I don't know why Parallel Lines took me a little longer to kind of get into and go, yeah, I'm kind of getting into this album. Yeah, I was trying to think. New wave, I guess, is a good way. Yeah, I was trying to think how to even describe the music. It is very interesting. I guess it is kind of disco era, maybe. But it's a good rock album. It has a lot of really rocking guitar stuff in here. I think the drumming is really good. I was kind of keen on drumming this last time, going, I love some of this drumming. It's really, and even the bass playing. Sometimes I'd hear a bass line and go, that's a pretty good bass line. So I think instrumentally, really good stuff here. Going through the album, Hang on the Telephone Line, I thought it was a decent song, good opener. One Way or Another, that's a great guitar riff. I mostly love the guitar riff. I don't know if I like the song, like as far as like the music or as far as the singing. I don't know if I like it that much, but I love that guitar riff. So it is still a song I really like. Picture This, okay. This is where I Fade Away and Radiate, Pretty Baby. I know, but I don't know. I didn't like those 3 songs. That's where, I don't know why, those 3, especially I Know, but I Don't Know. I really did not like that song.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Okay. It was different. There's something different about it that I didn't like compared to the rest of the songs. Anyways, so those are definitely like the parts that maybe made me kind of question this album. But 11:59, great song. I was really liking that song. Will Anything Happen? I really like that song. That's maybe the best hidden gem of the album. The harmonies are really good. I thought it was super catchy. Yeah, this to me is one of the best songs on here that no one will talk about. And it's not a hit song or anything, but it should be. Sunday Girl, I thought was really good. Heart of Glass, that's a great song. That's definitely we're all agree like that's the song.
Yeah.
Something about it, it's different. It just sounds different than anything else on this album.
It's probably the most polished song on here.
Yeah. I agree. Most polished. I would say that. There's something about the musically, it's just so great. The melody is just amazing. And Debbie Harris's voice is great. Like, I love her very high-pitched kind of voice on here. And and they go bum 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 bum. Oh, so good. And then I love the ooh ah, like, oh, that's so good. Anyways, it's a great song. I'm Gonna Love You Too. I really like this song.
Oh wow, I wasn't sure if you were gonna like that one.
It took me about 3 listens. I wasn't really in, like, on the first listen, like, I'm like remember a couple songs, but the second listen I kind of remember a little bit more. And then on the third listen, I was like really like, you know what? I really like this song. Like, I didn't remember it until about the third listen. I go, oh yeah, this song's like really catchy. And like, I didn't know it was a cover either. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That song really grew on me. I really like that song. And Just Go Away, I really like that song too. That really grew on me. That's another song where it was kind of unmemorable. Like, first 2 listens, I didn't remember these songs. And then again, I don't know, on third listen, I was going through and going, these are good songs. And I think that's what really tip the scale, because I was kind of like on the verge of like, do I like this? Do I not like this? Then on the third listen, those two last songs, this whole second half I really liked. As you noticed, I think from 11:59 onwards, loved everything on it. So that really made the album for me on the third listen, where I was like, man, this is actually some really good stuff. It's a good rock album, solid stuff. Anyways, yeah, my top three, it's gonna be a little bit different, you guys. Number 3, I'm Gonna Love You Too. I really like that song. Number 2, Will Anything Happen? And number 1, Heart of Glass. It's the typical one, but yeah, it's definitely, yeah, just something about it is just really memorable about it. That you hear this album, Heart of Glass. That was the highlight. So score, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it.
Right.
I was on the verge of 7 or 8. Third listen, I was like, I'm gonna give it an 8. I really liked the last part of that album. Really kind of tipped the scales to give it an 8. Which, I mean, it's not like you guys are giving it really high scores, but I think it's still a pretty good score, and who knows, it could go up if I listen to it more.
Nice.
I don't think I'm going to revisit that anything will happen one.
Yeah.
Got to revisit that one at some point.
Yeah, I thought that was a real highlight of the album. All right, got one more album to talk about. This is Adam's album. Very well-known album. I have it. Adam bought me this album, so thanks, Adam.
I've got the CD as well next to me.
I got it on CD too. All three got it on CD.
Yeah, that's CD.
All right, Adam, what do you think? Or why do you pick this one?
So it was on my list of albums to get through at some point. So I saw that Rich Strickler did an album ranking with the songs on this.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't listened to it until I went to a record store. I saw it on CD for real cheap, so I decided to buy it and listen to it. And straight away I loved it. Yeah, about the first listen. I've only heard the album twice, but I've heard most of the songs on this several times though. So I feel like I've heard it more than twice. Yeah, I really love the album. It's my favorite Van Morrison album. And there's 10 tracks. The album is just under 40 minutes. It's got all sorts of genres on this.
Yeah.
It's got R&B, soul, rock, jazz, pop, and Irish folk.
Yeah.
Of course, Van Morrison is from Belfast in Northern Ireland. You start off with the song "And It Stoned Me." So straight away you begin with my favorite Van Morrison song. I really love it.
Yeah.
I love the storytelling of the song and the instrumentation. And of course, vocally, the song's fantastic. Especially towards the end of the song, he really belts it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the title track, Moondance, probably the jazziest song on the album.
Yeah.
I imagine Frank Sinatra doing this one. It's got that sort of vibe about it.
Sounds like a Frank Sinatra style, yeah.
But I really love it. I think Van does an excellent job with that song. It's one of the catchiest songs on the album. I think it's got like a flute on that song.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I love the flute.
Then the next track on the album is my second favourite Van Morrison song with Crazy Love, which is I think it's a beautiful ballad. One of his best vocally here. I really love the female backing vocals on it as well. And then you got the song Caravan. Yeah, I really love that song. And then you got Into the Mystic. Yeah, it's probably it beat my top 5 songs on the album. I think lyrically it's one of the best. Yeah, I love the whole melody with that one. In my opinion, side 1 of the album, it's one of the best sides I've ever heard of an album.
I agree.
Side 2, you got the song Come Running. It's probably my least favorite song on the album. It's the most upbeat song on the album, but I still do really enjoy it. I think it's a really fun song. Then you got these Dreams of You. I really love that. It's one of the better deep cuts on the album. And then you got Brand New Day. I really love that one. It's one of the slower songs on the album, but I really love that one. And then you got Everyone. It's got a very sort of, it reminds me of like medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got very traditional sort of Irish music with it. But yeah, I really love that one. And then Glad Tidings is a perfect way of closing the album. So I'm going to go top 3 songs. But in fact, I've actually ranked all the songs. So I'll just quickly go through that.
Okay.
So when number 10's Come Running, to me, that's the only one that's not a 10 out of 10. All the rest of these are a 10 out of 10. So I found it quite hard to rank the rest of these. But when number 9 is Everyone, number 8 is Glad Tidings, number 7 is These Dreams of You, but number 6 is Brand New Day. So that's my favourite song from side 2. Number top 5, they're all from the first side.
Me too.
So number 5 is Caravan, number 4 is Moondance, but number 3 is Into the Mystic. So I actually made my top 3 that one. And number 2 is Crazy Love. My favourite track's the first track on the album, and it's Stone Me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to give this album a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Good.
Even though I've only heard it twice, it's actually my 10th favourite album of all time.
Oh, man.
I love it. I love every song. Even Come Running. I love that one as well. So yeah, it's 10 out of 10 from me.
I was hoping we get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
9.75, 9.75, 10. So these are all 3 really good albums for you.
I think I've only given 2 or 3 10 out of 10s in this whole album exchange.
No, not very much. In fact, I can't remember what was the last one you gave. I remember you giving a 10 out of 10 on album, yeah.
I think it was Newton Faulkner was the last one.
We both gave a 10 out of 10 on that album. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was the most divisive album in the exchange.
It's one of the most divisive albums we ever had.
We've had a few of those.
Yeah, we've all had a few of them.
All right, Bryer, you're gonna keep the train rolling here with the praises.
Oh, okay. So, my history with Van Morrison, of course, when people talk about him, there's 2 albums that get brought up a lot: Astral Weeks, and there's this one.
Yeah.
The first Van Morrison album I ever bought was Astral Weeks, and I heard that for the first time, and I was very unimpressed.
Me too.
I didn't really get the hype around it, and I kind of still don't fully. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's some interesting production, but I didn't really get the hype that so many people have with that one. So that's kind of like my hot take. But I didn't give up right away. I went with the other one, with this one, and definitely, I will say, much better. I think this one's a bit more. Definitely clicks with me. Click with me a lot more than Astral Weeks did. I don't know, because maybe the songs maybe are a bit more straightforward. They kind of get to the point quicker. I felt like Astral Weeks sort of took a while to get to the point, or most of the time I didn't know where we were going. But still, so yeah, I thought there was a much better album. I think I probably should have started with this before. But besides that, I'm just gonna go straight into the songs here. So this begins with "And It Stoned Me," and I think this is a very strong way to open the album. Really good piano melody, some good horns throughout this whole album. There's definitely some nice horn playing, which definitely added to it. I like a good horn in the music, and I thought the chorus was very nice, and it's very chill song, so it kind of sets the tone very well. Chill, stoned, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, Moondance. Definitely, yeah, I agree with Adam. It's definitely probably the most jazzy song on here, which, I don't mind. There is a good swing to this one, and there's some nice flutes on this, some good piano and saxophone. And overall, it was a very nice song. I can definitely see that one being like a highlight for a lot of people. Crazy Love, and I've read this is probably one of his most covered songs, and I can see why. I really enjoy this one. It's definitely a highlight for me. The guitar sound really good. I think vocally is definitely one of the big highlights from him on here. And again, the backing vocals were really good, and it was just strangely relaxing. Like I don't know why it was relaxing to me, and it was not that long either, but it just kind of felt right. Like it's short, but it's almost like it kind of ended when it needed to. So that was kind of good on that. Caravan, I really enjoyed Caravan quite a bit. The bass playing on that one was definitely very good, and the chorus is nice, simple chorus, but you got some, again, good horns on this one. So I really like this one. It was another highlight for me. And another good highlight was Into the Mystic. A nice spiritual kind of. I guess I've tried looking up what the lyrics to some of the songs are, and apparently this one's kind of more of like a spiritual type of song, which makes sense. But I really enjoyed this one. Really like the intro. The acoustic guitar, keyboard, and bass really blended really nice. Simple drums, but you get all these like different melodies coming in, and all of them kind of really coming together extremely well. Very excellent song. I really enjoyed that one. Come Running. That was a pretty decent song. Kind of has a happy-go-lucky sort of feel. There was a nice piano and bass. Another short and sweet. Don't have too much to say. These Dreams of You, kind of again, I've looked up that apparently the inspiration came when he had a dream about Ray Charles getting shot. Don't know how, don't really get the correlation, but
Okay.
Whatever. Definitely has the most bluesy country sort of thing. It's not my favorite. It's one of my least favorite songs on here, personally. Yeah, it's my least favorite song on here, just looking at my notes here. But it's okay. Not too bad. Brand New Day. Definitely better. Is slower, but I really like the piano playing. And there's like a hopeful nature to it, and that's which I really like. And again, I got to shout out to the backing singers. And funny enough, fun fact, one of the backing singers was Whitney Houston's mom. Yeah.
He's a singer. Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of a nice little tidbit, cool. And really nice. Then Everyone, I thought it was a pretty nice little ditty, pretty much. Nice, good flute playing, kind of faster tempo. Has a nice old-timey feel to it. I thought it was okay, not too bad. And then Glad Tidings. Again, more jazzy, more R&B, but again, good bass tone. Has another upbeat feel with some good horns, and I think it closes the album on a very good note. So, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna say I'm in love with Van Morrison. Like, he's not like my go-to like artist or anything. Like, there's a reason why I still only have 2 Van Morrison albums. Like, I have 2 big ones, and I don't know if I'm gonna expand beyond that as of right now. But I will say I do get why people are into this one. Like I said, the songs definitely click a lot faster. I think the arrangements of the song are kind of a bit more appealing, at least to me. And he is a great songwriter, so I'm not gonna take that away from him. He's definitely earned his due in that regard. So that all said, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10, but I am gonna. But first, I'm gonna go give my top 5.
Okay.
Number 5, I have Caravan. Number 4, Brand New Day. Number 3, And It Stoned Me. 2, Crazy Love, and my number 1 is Into the Mystic. And for my rating, I'm gonna give this a very, very high 9 out of 10. So I still think it's a very good album. And yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I will check out more Van Morrison someday.
All right. I know there's really big fans out there that absolutely love Van Morrison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love this album. I listened to it a while back, not a while back, maybe a couple years ago. I really kind of first listened to this album, and yeah, I was kind of like Van Morrison. All I knew was Brown Eyed Girl, and I love that song. But that's the song I think about. Brown Eyed Girl is one of my favorite '60s songs. And I remember as a kid, used to watch all these VH1 video or countdowns where they count down like top albums. And I remember 2 Van Morrison albums were pretty high on their list. Astral Weeks and Moondance, both really high on this like VH1 like top 100 albums list or something like that. I remember going, Van Morrison. All I knew was Brown Eyed Girl. I'm like, oh, okay, he's got these 2 albums that evidently people really like. Anyway, so I remember when I started the channel and I started doing my top 100 favorite albums, I knew I was going to have to listen to those 2 albums because I just remember like being very highly reviewed albums. And I'm with you, Astral Weeks, I didn't like at all, and that's considered like really great. I think maybe some of the music reviewers review that even better than Moondance. It gets really high reviews, and from what I read, it's definitely. I don't think it did very well as far as like album sales, and it didn't really have a catchy hit song on it. But people love it. I mean, as far as music, like aficionados, I guess. So then when he made Moondance, right? Because these came like back to back, I think Astral Weeks and Moondance. So he did Moondance. I think he came in with this idea like, okay, last album didn't sell very well. I'm going to make an album that's a little more catchier, a little more commercial sound, an album that I think a general audience maybe would like a little bit more. While Astral Weeks was really more for the real, I don't know, music snobs or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's correct to what I'm saying, but that's what my feeling is. And so he comes out with this album, and this is a great sounding album. Lots of catchy music. I think his best work I've heard. I haven't heard a lot of his albums either, though. But I can't imagine anything being better than this on top of my mind. Like I would be very surprised if he ever did anything better than Moondance. And it came out in 1970. It's funny, we just covered 1970 on my channel. Did our top 10 albums of 1970, and then yesterday I did a whole video on the music of 1970 anyway. So it's funny, Moondance has come up a lot lately for me, because I talked about it. It was number 5 on my top 10 albums of 1970, and this has been the first, when I did my top 100 favorite albums, this was on my top 100 favorite albums. That's how much I was kind of like Adam. I was like Adam, like first listen, I really like this album. I was like, wow, this is really good. Made my top 100. My second top 100 list, it was in there again. I think it might be even higher than the first time. I feel like it's one of those albums, the more I listen to it, the more I love it, the more it's going up my list, and it could go up higher and higher. I just really, really like this album. So this is one of the few times where Adam picks an album that I really, really love already. A lot of times, in the album exchange itself, a lot of times everybody picks albums I don't really know that well, which is kind of the fun of like, discovering new albums. This is one of the few times where it's like when Adam said Moondance, I'm like, I love that album. Like this is gonna be the easiest exchange ever. And it has been to me. Like our 3 albums, I thought were maybe some of the best 3 albums we've, as a collective, have reviewed. Where I really enjoyed all 3 albums, not counting Wild on Land, I guess. We don't count that album. If we count these 3 albums, this is a really good album exchange for me, I think. Anyways, going to the Moondance, I think what really makes this album is Van Morrison's vocals are so good. And he has a soulfulness to him that I love. That's the best way I can describe it. When I listen to music, I was like, how do I describe Van Morrison's music? There's a soulfulness to it, and it's not an R&B soulfulness, maybe necessarily. It's an Irish soulfulness. I don't know. That's the best way I can explain it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's like some kind of soulfulness in Irish singing, I think. And there's a lot of great Irish musicians, of course. They're known for like music, I think. And it's something just really amazing about his voice. He can sing very softly, and then he can belt it out, and it's amazing. As Bryer, I think, said, I love the horns. There's a lot of great horns on this album that I really love. So I love the whole production of this album. It's lots of great sounding stuff all the way through. It's got it's got that singer songwriter. I love singer songwriters. Got great acoustic guitar playing in here. And I don't know what you think, but listening to Christopher Cross and this album back to back, this is a great what's the word? I thought both complementary albums. I thought both albums really worked well together. Not saying
it makes sense. We have 1970 for Van Morrison, then 1979 for Christopher Cross. So you kind of bookend the decade.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. There's something about both albums had a real chillness factor to it that I really liked. I don't know. I thought both albums really worked well together. I was like, this is a great album exchange, having those 2 albums together. I thought I would tell everybody listen to Moondance and Christopher Cross back to back. I think they work really well together, like almost like a double feature movie or something, you know. I don't know. That was my thoughts when I listened to this album. I was like, man, I'm so glad Adam picked this album, and I picked Christopher Cross. I thought that worked really well. And Parallel Lines is good too. It's just more of a rocker album compared to
I
these
just
two.
gave you a little bit more of an edge.
Yes, oh yeah, much more edge on that one. Anyways, going to the album itself, yeah. The first 5 songs are so good. This is definitely one of the best sides I've ever heard on an album. And I was listening to this album again for the exchange. I'm just so amazed by his vocals and everything. And it stoned me. Yeah, amazing opener. Again, very chill song. I love that. I love the acoustic guitar on here. So great. Yeah, I just love. And it stoned me. I don't know, just the way he sings it, so good. Moondance. This is the crazy thing. This is like a jazzy song, and I love it. And I just went on about how I hate jazz. I love this song. I don't know why. It's a jazz song, and I love it. It makes no sense, but it works so well. And I've read that he said that he was trying to go for a Frank Sinatra style song, which I thought was very interesting. So it has that style, yet I like Van Morrison's voice a little bit more than Frank Sinatra. So it's a little more smoother or whatever. I don't know. Something about it that I was like, yeah, I can listen to a whole album of Van Morrison singing like Frank Sinatra songs or something. Yeah, Lisa, I love the flute. The horns are so good in this. It swings. I was trying to think of the word, and when you said swings, I think that's exactly the word I was looking for. Because it's just a bum 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 tonight, baby, bum bum bum. It's like, yeah, I love it. It's like really swings. It's like I imagine, like, as I'm listening to it, I always imagine myself like sitting in a jazz bar with somebody on a piano and somebody with like an upright bass, and a guy on the drums and some flute player. I don't know, a horn set. I don't know. I just feel like I'm like in a jazz bar or something, and just like, yeah, like bobbing my head to it. And the best part of the song is when he's like, tonight, bum 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 bum. Like, oh, I love that when those horn sections hits those 3 notes, bum bum bum. It's so good. And his voice, of course, amazing. Anyways, yeah, love that. Crazy Love. Man, that is a beautiful song. That is the most beautiful song in this album. It's a love song. It's like maybe the only love song maybe on here that I can think of. It's so good. And I love the female backing vocals are amazing. And it's another kind of chill song, but I just love that. Love, 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 crazy love. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, really love the song. Caravan, yeah, another absolute amazing song. Into the Mystic, I think this is a lot of people's favorites, and I totally get why. He's like it's very kind of soft at first, and then he comes to this one part, and this is what makes the song like amazing. Is he gets in this one part where he's like, and bump up. It kind of gets a little faster, he gets a little bit louder, and then he goes like, he holds this really long note. He goes, and I want to rock your gypsy soul, or something like that. I think is the line. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. He because he goes soft and he belts out that part, and it just goes into another level where you're like, holy cow, this song just went. It was good and went great. Like when he did that, and the horns again are great. The bass playing was really good. I think, did you mention bass playing? I thought it was.
Yeah, I think I did.
I think you mentioned it. Love the bass playing so much.
I mean, of course, I would mention the bass. Of
course, you'd be the one. Yeah, of course. And the acoustic guitar overall is so good. Man, that's an amazing song. I don't have a lot to say about the rest of the album because I think the first 5 songs are just so amazing. That's what I always think about. But the rest of the album's good. It's just not as memorable as those first 5 songs. But there's not a bad song, I think, on this album. I think it all works because of his style of music, his voice. It's an excellent album. Yeah, I guess I'll give it top 5. I was just thinking, I usually do top 3, but if I did top 5, I would put Caravan at number 5, and It Stoned Me at number 4, Moondance number 3, Crazy Love number 2, and I'm gonna go with Into the Mystic number 1. I think that's definitely, oh my gosh, his vocals just, yeah, you just can't beat it. Anyways, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. I I think before I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 when I did my list before, but when I was listening to it, I was like, those first 5 songs are so good. I'm gonna bump it up to a 10. I'm with Adam. It's it's an album that gets better with each listen, in my opinion. So 2 10 out of 10s for me on this album exchange, and then 8. So it's pretty good for me.
I just looked at my top 10 album sides. Moondance side 1 was my 7th favorite first side of an album.
I agree. It's one of the best sides I think I've ever heard. It's crazy because you could, it's like you could, spread out the great songs throughout the album. But man, you just hit you with the 5 best songs. Like, it's so good. Yeah, so lots of good scores here, at least on these last 3. That's kind of cool to see.
Have you heard the Van Morrison album Tupelo Honey?
No.
That's a good one.
I think I've heard that one, but I don't remember.
That was 1971. I think it was the album after Moondance.
I have to look and see it.
You can only find it on YouTube, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't listen to it because it's not on Spotify.
I don't know why it's not on Spotify.
Yeah, I bet I probably, I heard the title, but maybe I didn't listen to it because it wasn't on Spotify, which that's too bad. Yeah, I've tried to look up albums on Spotify. I feel like they're a little spotty, I guess, with like what albums are on there. And I think he has a pretty big discography, if I remember right. I think he just came from last year, maybe, or like that. Like,
yeah, but remembering now, I got that one signed.
Oh wow, okay,
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah. He's still, again, kind of like Christopher Cross. He's still one that's still going today. He's getting older, but he's still out there, I think, playing and like that. But yeah.
But I'm looking at today's album exchange.
Yeah.
I've actually ranked all the exchanges we've done, and this was number 1.
I wonder why.
Statistically, yeah, this was number 1. This album exchange. And my favorite album for the exchanges. It's of course my choice with Van Morrison's Moondance. But I'm trying to think my favorite album that wasn't mine. So there was some really good ones. Well, I got my favorite album from each of you. So Bryer had Gene Clark's No Other.
Okay.
That was in my top 100. That one.
Nice.
And for you, what with Christopher Cross, subtitled. And then for Jacob, what with Hooting the Blowfish, with Crap Review. And for Nick, I went with the Kinks' Sleepwalker, one of my favourite Kinks album. And then for Scott, I've gone with The Killer's Hot Fuss.
Oh, okay, Hot Fuss. Yeah.
So I think Gene Clark's No Other might be my favourite album for the exchange. It isn't mine.
I'm trying to think, what's my favorite album? I feel like I've been kind of up and down on Bryer's list. To be honest, Adam's probably had the best albums because I give a lot of 10s. Moondance is good. I loved Hayes. What's his name?
Colin Hay.
Colin Hayes. I think that's been my favorite album that I discovered.
I just saw him at concert again recently.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to see him in concert. I really love that album. That's maybe my favorite discovery.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Anyways, sorry, we're just blabbing here.
Just reminiscing.
Anyways, thanks so much to Adam and Bryer for joining me on this album exchange. It's been a really good one, I think. Really love talking about these albums. And we'll come up with some next time. Bryer will come back and Adam will say goodbye to. And
yeah,
we'll have another.
And welcome back to
welcome back to
Nick and Scott.
Nick and Scott. So glad to have them back, and hopefully we have some consistency there and for a little bit.
I've enjoyed being part of the album exchange.
Oh yeah, because we've done it for probably, haven't we? At least, or I don't know.
I've been a part of the 12 of them.
Yeah.
So,
12 of them? Yeah. Okay. Wow. I need to go back and remember what we.
Months I've done one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I forgot most of what I put in there.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, great album exchange. Thank you to anybody watching this. definitely tell your opinions on these albums. What do you think? These good albums. Anyways, besides that, have a good Sunday, and we will talk to you later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.